comparisons are a thing because comparisons are super freaking effective. I don't know why I've seen some people complain that, Dirk, you're always making comparisons. Listen, it's a great way to describe something, whether it's a band, or a movie, or a video game, to someone who hasn't heard them, or watched it, or played it. You know, you're telling them like, oh, it's kind of like that game you played, only combine it with the style from this game you played. It just helps people get an idea what you're talking about, and it's especially helpful in reviews. Of course, it's never literal. Like, it's never literally like, oh, this combined with that. Like, some kind of hideously tragic experiment gone wrong. No, it's a comparison. You guys, calm down. It's an analogy. This time, it's no analogy. Get out the pitchforks. It's Funk of Titans for the Nintendo Wii U.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to say this right up front. Despite all the things I'm about to say, this is not a bad game. In fact, it's a really fun game. I had a lot of fun playing this. Thing is, though, it's also probably one of the most obvious, blatant combinations of things I've ever played, or maybe even seen since Peanut Butter and Jelly. So much so that, like, the comparisons I make in this review, they're not just comparisons, they are literally combinations of things. It's like we're making stew. Hey, this stew is like you combined beef stock and carrots. No, because it's literally beef stock and carrots. It's not like that, it is that. And so is Funk of Titans. Not the stew, it's a combination of things. Bit salty. So, what's the recipe? Oh, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked, because that's what I was talking about. And I'm betting some of you already picked up on it. You smart little guys, you. Funk of Titans basically takes design elements from Donkey Kong Country Returns, like a lot of them actually, and combines them with the general aesthetic of Disney's Hercules, and sprinkles in a bit of Sonic the Hedgehog to season for taste. And references like every movie ever. Boils them up in a pot and voila, it's Funk of Titans. Like I said, it's not very subtle about it either. I mean, check this out. Look, it does the silhouette levels, and it doesn't even bother to change the color. It does the jetpack stuff, and it controls exactly the same. I mean, even the fonts are the same. Fonts, come on, that's kind of ridiculous. Some of us weren't very happy about it. But like I said, it's not just Donkey Kong. It combines Donkey Kong with a lot of aesthetic nods to Disney's Hercules. And I'm fine with that, but look, I'm just saying, like, look, this chick looks almost identical to the singing muses. And even the banners in the background, they use a lot of the same fonts and styles that you see in the movie. It's like it's not just that, oh, this also happens to be inspired by Greek mythology, what a coincidence. Now, it seems to have been inspired by Disney's Hercules, too. By the time you start bouncing around like it's Sonic and freaking Knuckles, well, let's just say the monkey's not the only angry mammal.
Cool, Daddy-o.
But you know, that's the thing. Despite all these unoriginal things, these stew comparisons and carrots, it's really not a bad game. In fact, it's actually a pretty solid runner. In fact, at times, the level design's even kind of awesome. And there's some replay value here, too. There are free medals you can earn in each level, so you're always trying to go back and earn them. And then there are things you can only find if you have a certain item equipped, which, by the way, you can buy items and equip them. Different weapons, different outfits. But that's the thing, even those outfits are kind of indicative of the game's problems. It's like, all the coolest outfits are also just, taken from other things. Friday the 13th, Star Wars, whatever. It's like, this game is kind of like that one friend you have who just references things all the time. Fun to hang out with, but get your own material, man. Look, if it sounds like I was harsh on this game, I want you to know that's pretty much how I always sound about everything. This has been me liking the game, which you can imagine what I sound like when I don't. But at the same time, as much as I enjoy even an okay runner, I'm just into these kind of games, I'm contractually obligated to be honest, and I'll be honest. This game rips off a lot of things. But at the very least, it rips off good things. Although, to be honest, Hercules, it kind of came at the end of the Disney Renaissance and was certainly a step down in quality from the recent films before it. And actually, it was a gradual thing. But look, whatever. The point is, the musical numbers were all right. Meg was hot. Donkey Kong rules. And Funk of Titans is actually a solid runner on the Wii U. Yes, indeed!
Oh, yeah.